fellows, hope you're all well. I'm sitting out here on the terrace on a Sunday afternoon. It's only a very short video, this one, but I think an important one, something that's affecting all of us, not just here in Spain, I'm sure as well in the UK. The huge increase in the price of gas bottles. I'm fully aware that the kind of electricity bills have soared up through the roof as well, but this little video is about the price of gas bottles. Now, over the last kind of 3 or 4 months, we've seen price hikes in these, and you're not talking 2, 3, 5%. We're talking upwards of 45 to 50% increases overall. And to confuse matters even more, there's different places supplying these locally. You know, you can get gas bottles delivered, but lots of us rely on going to venues, you know, local garages, garden centres, etc. to pick up these bottles. And the prices in those can be markedly different depending on where you go. I've got no explanation for that, but I thought I'd go out yesterday because we, like many owners here, have a gas fueled energy system, I suppose. I know there's people who have electric hot water boilers. We haven't. We've got gas boilers in the property. Often you're using gas for cooking, so gas hot. Now, if you look at an average household, and I think, you know, most of you who live here will agree with this, if you're using gas on the hob, for example, a bottle that you put on there will probably last 6, 7, 8, 9, sometimes even 12 months, depending on how much you're using it. On the hot water system, you're probably looking, again, 6 to 8 weeks for one bottle, whether it's a red bottle or a silver. I'll go into that a little bit more in a minute. We also use them for the portable gas heaters, especially over the winter months here, you know, from November onwards all the way through to February. Yes, we've got a log burner, yes, we've got a pellet burner, but that heats a certain area of the property. Other rooms are not, you know, heated by this, so we rely on portable gas fires. Others I know use kind of fuel-filled radiators and stuff like that. Now, what we're finding in our property, these gas bottles used on portable heaters, if you like, are literally kind of disappearing at the rate of one a week. So it's a very expensive hobby keeping a couple of these lit over any period of time. So I think what I did, as I said yesterday, was go out and look at a number of local suppliers, I suppose, where you can get this. And I'm going to have to refer to my notes to give you the price differences in a second, but I've seen a lot of kind of talk on the various forums and chat rooms and stuff like that asking where you can pick up these gas bottles and what prices you're being charged, etc, etc. So I thought I'd do a kind of mini survey. It would be really appreciated, because I know this is hitting all of us in the pockets. If you know somewhere locally that's selling these bottles at a cheaper price, please do make a comment and let everybody know where they can buy these things. You know, €1, it's a lot of money, a price difference on each one. If you're buying 3 or 4 bottles at a time, the cost of this mounts up over a fairly short period. So I'm going to refer to my notes on this. Yesterday I went out and a little, by way of explanation, if you don't live here and you're not familiar with the system, there's really 2 suppliers of gas bottles, and if you can imagine, it's like a garage in the UK. You can have BP, you can have Texaco, etc. The same with the gas bottles. There's 2 main suppliers. One is Cepsa. Now these are known as grey bottles, I suppose, and they do both a propane and a butane, which are both work very well on the boilers and stuff like that. So these are the grey bottles. Then you get the orange bottles or red bottles. These are supplied by Repsol, and again, there's different types of these bottles. Now, I went first of all yesterday to More Oil. They only do the propane gas in the grey cylinder, and this has gone up from around 14, 15 euros a bottle 3-4 months ago. They're now charging you 18 euros and 95 cents for a bottle. They don't supply the Repsol red bottles or orange bottles, they only supply the greys. I then went to Longo's, which is one of our big local hardware stores. They didn't have any of the grey bottles in supply, so I'm not sure whether they stocked those, but they did have both types of the red bottle, and they're charging now 17 euros for the propane version, I think, or the small, yeah, the red bottles. There's ones that you get with a blue plastic top, I suppose, and these are always more expensive. The one without that, they're charging €17, which is the bottles that I use, and for the ones with, they're charging €20.80. I went next door to the garden centre, again another supplier, doesn't do the grey bottles, only the reds. He's charging exactly the same as Longo, so €17, €20.80 for the blue plastic top red bottles. BP Garage seems to be the most expensive of them all, which is kind of a little bit curious because they are probably the biggest supplier of all of them and have a very, very prosperous business there, and yet they're charging the most expensive prices. So they do the grey bottles, €21, so €1.05 more expensive than you can buy them at the more royal garage. They're charging €17.50. Doesn't seem much difference, but 50 cents, guys, on the top of a red bottle compared to both Longos and the garden centre, and €21 for the red bottle with the blue plastic top, so a 20-cent difference on both the other suppliers I sourced them from. So not only have the prices been hoiked up hugely, and this is affecting us all, but there's also variances, upwards of €1 on what you're paying for these from the suppliers locally. So thought I'd get that out there. Hopefully, it's a little bit helpful and guides people where to go where they can get the cheapest prices. But of course, as I said earlier, really, really helpful, guys, if you can watch this, know somewhere where you can buy these products cheaper, these gas bottles cheaper, then please do make a comment below, let everybody know, because come on, this is ridiculous now. I probably will come back and do one in the near future about electricity, but that's a bit more difficult because we've obviously got a supplier to our own properties and we're getting charged what we're getting charged, and it's very difficult for having one supplier for me to do comparisons because the usage varies per household and we're all using different suppliers. But in summary, I think it's fair to say both gas and electric over the last 4 months the prices have soared, and on the electric side it seems to be getting beyond the joke. I've heard of old Spanish pensioners who are kind of turning off all their kind of essential stuff, very, very much limiting the supply on the electric, and they're still getting bills of €70 a month. Again, I wasn't aware we got our gas and electricity supplies from anywhere in the UK, so Brexit can't be responsible. There is a lot of kind of chat around on both of these things, the gas and the electric, that there's a huge stealth tax. In other words, there's a 21% VAT charge on these payable to the government, so it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? The more you're paying for your electric bill every single month, the higher VAT percentage they're putting in their pockets. Could be transport costs, there's no doubt lorry drivers that have to deliver all these supplies to the garages and the suppliers are being paid now higher wages because they're in short supply. But I can't see that warrants a 45%, 50% increase in prices. Let us know what you think, guys, and hope you enjoyed or found useful this short video. I'd rather not have had to make it, to be honest. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Catch you soon.